Hey guys, it's Jeff. This is going to be part 7 of the MiniArt 3-ton cargo truck, 1/35th scale, basically the oval flits. In this video, I want to get the cab started. Got lots of little pieces for the cab, and it's going to have to be put together kind of in stages. I'll do some today, and we'll let that dry, and then I'll have to do some masking and some priming and things like that before we can actually assemble the cab completely. Okay, all right, let's go down the bench, see what we can do. Okay, thanks. Okay, I've got some pieces here for the cab that I want to start assembling today. Various assemblies. We're not going to actually finish the cab, but we're going to get it at the point where I can prime the interior and start working on getting that together. Once the interior is together, then we can close the cab up, and then we can start figuring out the paint for the outside. But there's a few things I wanted to do first. I've got the doors here, and these are the door cards. I want to get those glued so they could be drying. I've still got to get the they've got, let me get this a little closer here maybe. We got the door handle and the window winder and a bunch of stuff that I still have to put on. And of course the latch for the outside and the mirror. And then there's a little drip gutter that goes up there. This kit actually has separate glass for the wind wing. They call them wind wings here. I don't know what they call them the rest of the world, but a piece of glass at the front that can be posed open or closed, and then the glass for the window that can actually has two versions. One is fully up and one is half down, and then of course you could leave it out entirely and leave the window down. But I want to get these glued so they can be drying. I'm going to use the contact eye. I didn't check to see if this is clogged. Let's see here. Nope, it's not clogged. That's good. A little bit here. A lot of detail in here. There's little screws all the way around and everything. Okay, we'll set that one aside. Do the same on this one. Hold it up this way. Now the instructions show you putting the glass in, or the clear plastic, at the same time as this, which I really don't want to do for painting purposes. And I did some testing, and it is possible to get the clear plastic in later, after this is all glued together. So that shouldn't be a problem. Okay, there's the doors. Okay, we'll just let those aside and let them set up. This is the back of the cab here. What I've got there. Huh. Oh, it looks like just a little bit of dried glue or something. On the back of the cab, let me put the cap on this. This is the interior, and there are some ejector pin marks here, and there's a couple here. I don't think any of this is going to be seen. The seat's going to cover most of it. But there are a couple of like map pockets or pockets for paperwork that'll go in here that'll be painted the same color as the back. And then of course there's a window that can be fitted from the outside. I really like that they've got it where it's got a nice little lip around it, so it'll be pretty easy to put the glass in later after we do the painting. But this will go here. I believe it goes over the little bar there, and it just sits there like that. And that'll be painted the same color. I think the interior is gray. Let me drop a little bit of glue in there. Then we'll set this aside and let it let it dry. Make sure it's straight. Okay. And I'm not putting the seat in yet because it's going to be a different color and I don't want to have to mask it. When I come to priming this and painting this, I'll use some white glue and I'll cover this edge so that when we glue the top on, I'll have a nice glue joint like that. Okay, so I'll put some white glue in here to mask this off too. That way I don't have to worry about the plastic getting a good joint. So this can be set aside for now. That's all we had there. On this, there was a number of little like indicator spots on the top here that they told me to sand off for this particular version, which of course tells me there's more versions coming. These two little nibs are supposed to stay. That's because there's it's like a triangular piece that you put on there if you're pulling a trailer or if you're in a convoy or something like that. See, I've got just a little touch of glue. I must have touched it. Hang on here. This is just a real fine sanding sponge. Get rid of that. Fiberglass pencils work real well for that too. Okay, that looks much better. Okay, we've got windshield wipers and stuff all to add on the outside at the point where we're ready to do that, but there was 4 ejector pin marks here on the inside, and I didn't think they'd be seen, but I scraped them and then I put some of the Tamiya airbrush cleaner, or what I use for the cement, on them and kind of blended them together and sanded them. I pretty much got rid of them, but there is one little part that I need to glue in here. It's extremely tiny and it goes right in this slot here, and what it is for the I think it's the control that raises and lowers this little marker. We need to put that on the inside before we do any priming or painting. And I better use tweezers for it because it's really tiny. Okay. We'll set this aside and let it be drying. Okay, on the floor, this will actually glue here. It's a very nice fit once you get it just right. Okay, and I don't know if you can see in there or not, but there's pedals and gear shift lever and stuff I want to put on there now. And then I'm going to glue this together. I can airbrush in there, but I can't get all those pedals and stuff in there. And then I'll get it primed, and then I'll get it painted, and then before I put the steering wheel and stuff in, I've got some gauges here that'll need to have the decals put on them. So let's see. Let's go ahead and set that aside. We've got a couple little pieces here that set here on each side. I don't know if you can see it or not. They go right here. Oh, and there was some bolt detail here and here on both sides that they said to remove, so I did that. There's a lot that a lot of little things that they tell you to remove, which tells me that there's more variants coming. I'm glad they've planned ahead in their molding. Okay, that goes like that, and then we've got this one that goes on this side. Okay, let's see if they look straight across the back. They just kind of stand up there. They're gonna, the seat will of course be there, and they're just kind of like guards or something on the back of the seat. Okay, I want to go ahead and get the pedals and stuff on there. The gas pedal on this is photo etch. I've never ever seen one like that before. I've already bent it. There's the gas pedal right there, if you can see it. So I need to get that glued in. And I've got the brake and the clutch to put in. So let's go ahead and do this first. And let's see here, I've got some of the gel, Loctite super glue gel. I think this is still good. If not, I've got a new one. This is just a cap off an old medicine container. Looks like this might be dried out. Yeah, there's a little in there. Yeah, I do have a new container. Okay, and there's a couple of locating spots. Here and here. Right there. And right there. Put a little more in there. I like this gel. Okay. That'll go right there. I think I've got it in the right spot. It might be a little high. There, that's right. Nope, it's not. Okay, that looks right. And then I'm going to use just a little of this to make sure it's good and dry before I move on. I just take the applicator, touch it to it. That should be more than enough. Okay, this will dry in no time. There's no sense in spraying it because it just takes forever. I got a little carried away with it there. Seems a little crooked, but that matches up the with the location points. Okay, let's go ahead and get the brake and the clutch. Let's see, I want to use this. So we've got the, I think that's for the starter. That's, let's see, that's clutch, that's brake. Okay. got a little bitty pedal to put here. Get it turned the right way. Whoops, that's really tiny. Okay. Yeah, on these older vehicles, you don't turn the key to, you don't turn the key on and then turn it a little farther to start. You turn the key on and then you hit the pedal on the floor to start. Make sure I've got the right one. Whoops. Okay. Whoop. Okay, there's one. And here's the other one. That's too much glue. Okay. Okay, that's what we want. And then we've got a gear shift lever and a parking brake. Whoops, and then I knocked that off. I was afraid of that. Okay. Okay. Then, let's see, the gear shift lever, like so. Okay, I knocked that pedal a little bit. Okay, and then we've got the emergency brake release. Okay, and then that one just went in. Okay, I'm going to set this aside and let the, whoop, and then it fell. Okay, leave that alone. Whoops, if I can get it to where you guys can see it. There's our controls. Okay, let's set that aside. On this, I have one little part that I want to put on. I'm not even sure what that is. If it's a, I'm not sure. It goes down here. I don't know if it's some sort of a switch. And go right there. Okay, then we'll leave that alone and let it dry. Yeah. On the radiator, I'm kind of working ahead here. This radiator had a little bit of flash in between the little slats in the grill, but it was easy to clean up. If you notice, there's a notch here in the top, and that's for this little ornament right here. The kit actually comes with 3 radiator grills, which of course again tells me that there's more options, but you got 1 grill with no slot in the top and no Opal Blitz. Then you've got one here that says Opal Blitz, still has no slot in the top. Okay, so these 2 I'm not even going to use. They're just extra. So I'll save them. I save all of the scrap bits and pieces, you know, for diorama purposes or whatever. Let's put this on and let it be drying. I might need to use the tweezers. Let's see here. Okay, I've got just a little bit of overflow on the glue. Okay, that looks pretty good. We'll let that set, and if I need to do just a little touch up of sanding, I can. And then these are the inner fenders. When I was cleaning the flash off, I actually kind of stressed this. You can see the little white spot right there. So the plastic in this is fairly soft. There were several ejector pin marks on the inside of these fenders that I scraped off and cleaned those up. But there's this little, I guess you'd call it a door jamb, that goes to the inside. Go right here. So those need to be glued on. Okay. Just kind of a tapered edge there. Make sure I'm using the right one. It's this one. They're mirror images of each other. Okay, and that gives us our door frame. And this will actually need to be glued on before we do any painting, because this part right here will be in the interior of the cab. Okay, I got one on this side. Hang on just a second, I'll be right back. Thanks. Okay, I had a little tickle in the throat. Had to get a drink. So go here. Something like that. Okay. Then this is the steering column, and I want to glue this part to it. I'm not sure if it's going to fit correctly. They kind of show it going all in at one time. I'll show you in a minute. But if I put this, I want to keep these parts separate from the main body parts for painting purposes. That goes there. It's a little crooked. Okay, and then this is supposed to come, I'm going going to knock that little piece off. This is going to come through here. Yeah, that'll fit fine. So that goes to the back of the dash. But I want to keep it separate for now. This is going to be like gray and this is going to be black. So it'd be easier to paint it separate and then put it in. But okay, I'll leave that. Okay, I try and do a little bit of pre-planning. The way these are going to fit together. This will go in here. I believe, let's see, it goes like this. Whoop, and that's backwards. It goes this way. Okay. Just like that. Okay, so I don't want to paint that edge and I don't want to paint this edge, so I'll be masking those off. But I do want to get this and this together. Let's see what the best way to do this. Go like this. That's going to almost touch. Okay. Okay. Get enough glue in there. That is so close. I want to move that back just a little bit. Okay. And then we've got these pieces here. We'll go like this. So I want to have those on there so I can paint inside there. I want to make sure that angle is right so when this all goes together it fits correctly. Well, test fitted this several times to make sure that it fits correctly. Not sure just why that's not. Somehow or another, I'm not getting my pieces quite right. There's the neighborhood trash truck going around. There's what's going on right there. Whoops, I'm going to knock those off. That's the hang on till the trash truck goes by. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but it's kind of loud. Well, I had to do that off camera. It was tricky. It went. Once I got everything in the right spot, it just fell together. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay. It fits perfect. Once it went into the right spot, it just, you could tell everything lined up. So I'm going to leave this alone and I'm going to let it all dry really well before we do anything else. We can go ahead and that's right there. This is actually supposed to go forward a little bit, like that. Okay. Then we'll put I'll mask some of this stuff and prime it. And then we'll get the interior painted up and glue the cab. All on there. I'm sure it won't stay. It gives you an idea. Okay. That's going to about do it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Sorry about doing that off camera. I had to really kind of basically take it apart and kind of start putting it together again loose. Once I got the angles just right, it all fit just fine. Okay? All right. You guys have a great day, and we'll talk to you real soon, okay? Bye-bye.